Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be using the Eagle in the Abyss again, this time with an active tank, because previously when I was using a buffer fit, I mean it was alright, but I felt like it could use a better like HP per second, and it's a lot easier to achieve that with a good active tank. And on the other hand, we also get a really good capacitor because I'm using a cap battery here. And the Eagle seems to have a very good natural capacitor because only this one cap battery was able to give us this much gigajoules per second. Like we're using an ancillary current router right here because the Eagle has a bit of a power grid issue with the Neutron blasters. We're using this Shadow Serpentis over here, Tech 2 shield hardeners. It's not a particularly extremely expensive fit. We're going to be doing T4 exotics. This fit costs about 600 million, just under 600 million if you exclude the implants. We've got some basic implants right here. These like medium hybrid turret ones. But I think it's going to be a good ride. We're using a tracking computer instead of a Webifier. The reason is because when I was using the Webifier, I found like I could still hit stuff even when I was not using the Webifier. So that means that when I say stuff, I mean frigates, and those are the things that are going to have the hardest time tracking. So I think that it'll be good because we can, if we have trouble with tracking, we can obviously put this tracking speed script in, but we can use this optimal range script if we need to be, because the thing is these neutron blasters, they don't have a good range. And then on top of that, we've got another thing that's even better than the buffer fit that I used before, and it's actually quite important. We're using this Locus coordinator right here. This is a really good rig here because it increases our optimal range. So we'll be able to hit out even more, plus the tracking computer. So it's going to be, all in all, a really good time. Now let's see. Now I think I already got a drop in. We're going to put these Synth blue pill. These are very cheap boosters that are always good to have if you ever need to have a bit of extra shield boosting capabilities. Our Omni tank is only like 300 HP per second if you look in Pithum, but the thing is when you factor in the dangerous waves like Triglavians, Concord, we actually have over 400, almost 500 because of the amount of thermal resist we have. So it's really amazing what you can actually achieve with this resists on this Eagle. It's just so great. So let's go into the safe, put our drones into a group, and let's see here what range do we have. So you see here some decent range, like 31 kilometer fall off, 90 kilometer optimal. It's pretty decent right there. And it's got, I mean, some decent tracking, not the best, but some decent tracking. I'm using a B-type medium shield booster. I was thinking of using a large shield booster because the thing is, with a large shield booster, I'm using only a Tech 1 rig because I don't need to. They cost a little bit less, just I'm trying to be a little bit stingy right here. But I could have used a Tech 2 ancillary current router if I wanted to. And we'll be able to fit a large shield booster. On the other hand, we won't be able to fit this Locus coordinator because we'll have to put a capacitor control circuit to be able to power it. It would have been a bit more tank, but I want to see how this goes because apparently the medium shield boosters are more cap efficient. Like they give more cap, or they give more shield boosting per used capacitor. So I was thinking of going with that as well. And also the large shield booster that I was using, trying to use an X-type, and it was costing also more than this B-type medium shield booster over here. I could have probably used an A-type if I wanted to, but the A-type medium shield boosters are quite expensive. I feel like it's maybe a bit overkill for what we're going to be doing right here. I'm just gonna try this sort of with a minimum style stuff, see how it goes. Alright, so the Vedmak wave. So hopefully we don't get popped here. Let's see now. There's ghosters and tanglers. We want to probably take these guys out first. Can we put this assault damage control over here? Can start shooting these guys here. You've got some good application going on. Now that they're getting close, we're going to want to switch over to Void. Void. And then we will want to put some tracking speed in. There we go. Hopefully we'll pop him. Just try to keep a bit of range right here. But to be honest, the Vedmax is what we're going to be wanting to go for. Let's go for this tangling dam over here. There we go. He gets wrecked pretty quickly. And actually, we're going to go for the Vedmax because we do not want to waste time and let them spool up. So we're going to go for this Vedmak over here. And I think we do have enough range for Void. If we put a tracking script in. Let's see now. Do we have enough range? What is our range here? 14 kilometers? Not really. This is where a Webifier would be good because I could slow him down and then we'll be able to control range a lot better. Here we have to sort of rely on being able to sort of hit out. Oh, this Hornet's taking a bit of damage. Can maybe use Caldari Navy Antimatter, but Void has pretty much the same range as Caldari Navy Antimatter anyway. I think at this point Null will be better. Let's go with Null instead. Like maybe go tracking speed instead. Because it'll slightly indirectly boost the amount of damage we do due to the fact that it'll give us better hits. But we're tanking really well at least, so that's great. They're going to be hitting hard though. We always got those all damage control anyway, so that's a really nice thing to have. Now here, yeah, I think definitely a Webifier in this case, for example, will be a lot better. So maybe it could be a good idea to have a Webifier. I was thinking that before that, you know, when we're going against these frigates, they seem to be fine with the tracking speed script, but definitely when the Triglavians, for example, the Vedmax, they like to orbit just at this Federation Navy Webifier range. This would be perfect for that because they would be able, we would be able to wreck them really hard. Let's go close to this guy here. We'll use Void to blast him down. There we go. Oh, look at that damage. He's got one-shotted shields basically. Use optimal range actually, since they're going so close as well. And it doesn't help that we've got all these Webifiers on this too. But you see how quick this goes when you've got the Void? Like, oof, look at that. See how is that tracking? 51 tracking, because that's pretty decent right there. So the Vedmax full like flies right here. The Eagle is strong. The Eagle is strong. The Rogue Drone Battlecruiser should be pretty hard because the thing is, it would seem probably hard that you have to get in close, but you don't have to get in too close, especially when you're using the Null. You could stay at like 20 kilometers or something like that, and you'll be doing fine DPS. Obviously not as good as Void, but still, it'll be decent. And you could probably even use Void. Just keep a range of like 12, 15 kilometers, and you should still be able to negate most of the damage they do, just as long as you take out their sparks, because they'll do. You don't have as much, you know, EM resist. They'll be doing a lot of damage. Okay, let's move towards the transfer conduit. Lock up all these other guys. Seems to be pretty solid right here. Triglavians at least works. Or the basic Triglavians. Well, Kikimoras could be slightly problematic because you have to... Oh, Hornet, please. Why do they keep going for my... Oh, man. Hornet down. Hornet down! But the Kikimoras, they do a lot more damage, I find, than these guys, and you have to take them out quick. But on the other hand, if we approach with Null, we'll probably wreck the Kikimoras fast because, like, we'll just slap them. Like, it'll just one-shot them. They'll be doing really good damage to them, like a good applied damage is what I mean. Let's see, why is this guy not coming closer? There we go. That's good. You know, we've got the tracking speed script here and we're applying perfectly fine. We don't even need a Webifier. It's just those Vedmax are really annoying because they like to orbit just outside like a fall-off. And if we had a Webifier, it would be easy because we could just Webify them and get close to them. But when we don't have it, then it's a bit hard. But they still actually go pretty fast, those Vedmax. They go like something... maybe like over 1k, 1.5k a second. You Webify them, they'll go just about the speed we go in AB, but we were getting webbed as well, so maybe it wouldn't help either. I don't know. Okay, let's put... probably Null is the best to start off, actually, because stuff starts at range. You just snipe them a bit at range, then you, when you get closer, decide the range you want to get in, then you use the other ones. Okay, Kerberos Tyrannos shouldn't be any issue. Actually, no, it should be an issue, because our Omni resist is not the greatest. Let's see now, Scylla Tyrannos... Put an optimal range going on right here because we'll track fine here. Let's start shooting these guys. I'll try to move above that blue cloud. Obviously, we have the little damage control of stuff for it to go too crazy. Let's use these drones. What's the resistance type? Okay, so a slightly better case scenario when it comes to tank, at least. Let's see now. Have we got anything dangerous? No, it's only these guys, really. We can use now Void. Voidy Void, and melt these guys. There we go. See that? Look how wrecked these guys get. We're in perfect optimal now, even. That's one really nice thing about the Eagle is that we get that good optimal range for our hybrid turrets, so we're like in perfect range to be able to use Void on these guys. Oh no, Hornet taking damage again. And we're actually avoiding damage surprisingly well from Kerberos Tyrannos. I thought it would be a bit more difficult. Let's start shooting this little Tyrannos over here. Trying to get close to me, but it's not going to work because I'm not using an MWD. He's trying to scram me. Ah, great. And this guy, there's sometimes you find them in the Kerberos Tyrannos waves is that you find there's like 1 F or 2 Ephialtis. They like to just orbit Kerberos like that. Don't know why. Just the way it works sometimes. Okay, now we'll probably be taking a bit more damage. We've got a blue cloud going on. As I said before, we always got that assault damage control if we need that, but we still don't seem to be tanking pretty good. Okay, we're getting hitting shots. That's great. So that means we're hitting good hits. Yeah, good. Now I'll go with Null. Start doing damage from far. It's nice that the reload of ammunition type is not that long. It doesn't take too long to reload ammunitions. I would have thought it would taking a bit longer. When it comes to, for example, missiles, it takes a lot longer than this. Got a smashing shot right there. We're still tanking decently. Yeah, look at that. We get some big shots out of ourselves as well. Okay, we'll take drones now. It's a good time to take some drones. Droney drones. Move a little bit from the side here. Where's optimal range? 90 kilometers. So we're basically getting perfect hits now, you could say, because we're going to be in optimal very soon. Oh, a wrecking shot. Can go as assault damage control if that stuff happens. Haha. Yeah, it's a bit annoying because the Eagle doesn't have the biggest buffer. Like, it has a good buffer because of its resistances, but if you compare it to, for example, the Gila, it's hard to beat the Gila's buffer, actually. Gila has a surprisingly big buffer. We have 3.1k HP in our shields. The Gila has 4k HP in our shields. So I guess you could say the Gila is in some ways worse because it's got worse resistances naturally, but still. I definitely don't feel that spicy when I take a wrecking shot from a Gila in T4. That's like how much it felt, how much you would take in like T5 or something like that. Okay, or even T6 actually. And you just use Void here and blast this guy to pieces. When it goes into, I think it goes into armor, we're going to switch over to Null and make our way towards the transfer conduit. No, we'll make our way towards the transfer conduit now. Null. And start moving, because it'll take a bit of time obviously to move there. We could sit here the whole day with Void, but then we'll still have to make that journey towards a transfer conduit, so may as well do a little bit less damage but be close to the transfer conduit, because he's probably going to still actually die before we even get towards the transfer conduit. I think the Eagle looks pretty cool. Like, it's got this extra stuff here. Looks like a Gila with some extra gear to aid its like tracking or something, like stabilize the ship to get better optimal range on its blasters. I wonder how much DPS you would get if you were to use like a railgun. I can recall our drones. Railgun. Railgun. Give me a railgun. 420mm, 250mm, 350. 250 is the biggest one. There you go, a bit of power grid issues. Where's the... This is the high DPS one, right? Oh, that's some good range though. Look at this range, Spike M, wow. That's in good range. What about this? With Caldari Navy Antimatter? Wow, maybe we should try this actually. Look at that range, man. That range is amazing. We could even remove this probably. We don't even need this, and put a damage rig as well. We could maybe put something like this maybe. Ancillary current. There we go. Tech 2 of this. And then burst aerator. A medium hybrid burst aerator. We still got some power grid issues right there. Yeah, we can't even fit it. But I mean, it's not the best DPS obviously, but that'll be some good range. You'll be doing that damage all the time, so it could maybe be an option. One thing to also remember is that tracking won't be that great. Railgun tracking is absolutely trash compared to the blasters, so we'll definitely have to use something like a webifier there. Let's move here. We've got entanglement. Entanglement is what we're going to go for first, because they'll like make Charybdis you do a lot more damage. Okay, we'll go for now this cruiser over here. Go for this guy over here. We'll go for all the Scyllas really, because I think the Scyllas have less HP in total than the Ephialtes, so it'll be like more ships off the field quicker if we go for the Scyllas first. Look how cool this ship looks. We can even take some screenshots actually. I can go for this one actually. This is attacking my drones. Don't attack my drones, how dare you! How dare you attack my drones? Oh, Charybdis is pretty slow here. In the last wave, it was like we were taking forever to get close to Charybdis, but now Charybdis hasn't even gone past the gate. Yeah, I mean, look at that range, man. 31 kilometer fall off. We're hitting it with blasters at this rate. That's really great. How does the Deimos have a bonus as well? Because I know the Deimos is more popular than the Eagle. Fall off. It's only got 1 fall-off bonus, but here we get optimal range, 2 optimal range bonuses, so definitely is a better sniping platform, at least. The Eagle, with Void, they're really close. I'll just orbit curve, just basically 500, something like that. There we go, and just blast these guys. Look at those volleys right there. Seems to be pretty solid. I still worry a bit about the Marshall wave that it'll pop us, but we do have boss thermal resistance. Obviously assault damage control as well, so we'll hopefully be able to survive that if we do encounter that in the future. Put drones on this, have the blasters go on this curve, this Tyrannos over here. Orbit this guy. Yeah, I mean, we're getting some fat volleys going on right here. But if you're curious what I was talking about with the tracking, 39 tracking, you can see we've got with blasters. Then if we go with these railguns, right? We go with the 250mm railgun. And then we put Caldari and Heavy Antimatter, same ammo type. You can see here that only 8.9 tracking, so absolutely bad tracking, like really bad tracking. You would have a hard time probably hitting cruisers even with that kind of tracking. Like, that's battleship level tracking almost. Well, basically it is, actually. Because I know that on the Kronos, I can use the Neutron blasters there with Caldari Navy Antimatter, and I think 1 tracking rig or 1 tracking module, tracking computer, I get like 11 tracking speed. So that is worse tracking than even some battleships, so it's really bad tracking. That's why I think the blasters will probably be the better alternative here. I just worry a bit about curved Tyrannos. Also, Devoted Knights could be problematic. They do EM damage, and we have low EM resistance. It could be problematic too. I think we'll be able to snipe them though, but it'll maybe be a little bit problematic in that regard. So that also could be problematic. One thing to consider also is that the Devoted Knights and the Sancha guys, they do thermal damage as well. We have very high thermal resistance, plus we do with Null predominantly thermal damage, so it will be good for killing the NPCs, because the Devoted Knights, they do have an EM but also a slight thermal hold too, so we'll be probably hitting them pretty hard from range if we use the Null. So that could also be a problematic wave. So the Devoted Knights, mass martial rooms, maybe even angels. Don't think so, but maybe angels could be problematic too. Angels, they will do EM damage as well. But I think that since they like to brawl real close, we'll just melt them with Void anyway. So I don't think it'll be too bad in the angel wave. Probably Devoted Knights and the marshals will be difficult right here. But anyway, there we go. Active fit Eagle with blasters. Gets some good range, good DPS, and it will seem to be pretty quick right there. I think we did it in like 12-13 minutes, something like that. We got 2 battleship waves as well. I think it's a pretty solid ship. Definitely has some potential for the Abyss. Obviously, it's not so popular because it's hard to do a lot of stuff with blasters with their crap range. But still, I think it's interesting using something that's not Aguila. So, but still, I think it's interesting using something that's not Aguila in the high tier filaments. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.